Hi guys, my name's Kim,
And I'm Abby.
and this is
Calabasas.
Cultura. Hi, Abby.
Hey Kim, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really, really tired. I was just in Boston and Massachusetts last weekend, and so or this past weekend. We just got back this morning, and so I've been sleeping all day. What about you?
Same. I've just been sleeping all weekend. It's too
Yeah,
hot
as you
here.
should. It is gross. We had like a weird, it's like a tornado, hurricane. I don't even fucking know. All like New York, Chicago, all of this area. And then the air quality has been horrendous. And like, it's incredible what the like fire patrol and individuals in Canada busting their absolute ass to try to tame down and kill this wildfire. It's insane. But we've
Mm.
been getting the remnants over here. But yeah, it's been it's been a very restful day. And so I'm really, really excited to talk more about what we're doing today. Um, it's really interesting. It's really beautiful, especially for those who engage in this practice. I know Abby and I engage in this practice. A lot of our friends are building relationships within their practice, and it's so cool to see how, as I was doing my research, how different, but also how similar. Like I hate the whole cliche of like it's the same but different, but it's different but the same. But it really is like, what are we talking about today, Abby?
Ancestor Veneration. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
it's really the principles are the same, I would say.
Yes, it's been so cool. So I did a lot of research within like different cultures and different locations and all these things, and it's so cool to see how similar we and in the ways in which we honor our ancestors. And so I think I'm kind of going to be jumping into the history as well as like the more research based process in different locations. And Abby is
Mm.
going to hit us with some motherfucking magic, the way we can implement magic within ancestor veneration. And so, are you ready to get into it, girl?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Um, I feel like before like even setting up an altar or anything, like meeting them, but if you really want like a step by step, like how to meet them, I would say for real, all you would need would be like a white candle. You could do a black candle, and I would just pray to them out loud. And then it helps, honestly, if you have pictures, but if you don't know them, I would just call to them in general. And also, like, if you're adopted or you don't even know your bloodline, like, that does not matter either. And I feel like ancestor work, not in my practice, but I'm not against it. But, like ancestors in your, like, magical, what's the word I'm looking for, your like magical tradition that might have passed, like you could call on them. And also like not celebrities, but like I mean you could if you wanted to. I don't know, but if you
Like
wanted to
I don't
pull
know
in their
what
energy,
socio.
yeah, you could. But like authors and stuff, I think that's so cool, like big time, like I'm talking about like Plato type shit. I feel like that would be cool to like venerate them and stuff like
Yeah.
that. um but But yeah, and I would just be like, I know everybody says like of your highest good or whatever, like call down the ones that are really just call down the ones that are morally aligned with you or you think
Yeah.
that could help you in your practice or, just have some moral high ground. I don't know
Yeah.
that you share with. And then, what was you gonna say, Kim? What was you gonna
No,
say?
I love that you said that specifically. That it's not only just like, oh, for my highest good, but those that are aligned in my purpose and in my journey right now. I think that that's such an important statement to have, because it
Mm,
is so intimidating to connect with ancestors because it's like, oh, but what if like it's one that I really don't fuck with? What is it? What if it's like one that I don't want to work with? And it's you are able to kind of communicate those boundaries the same way you would do with family now, like their family. You are able to establish those very clear boundaries of like those that are aligned with me in my journey right now. I don't want to deal with my racist granddad. Like, I don't want to deal with
yeah.
bullshit like that. Those that are aligned with me in my journey, that's who I want to connect with. And it's totally
And
okay.
honestly, I
And
feel like people like that in your ancestry, I feel like Most of the time they don't even try to get at you for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would just be specific in your intentions,
Yeah.
honestly.
100%.
Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like can't nothing happen.
Yeah.
You know.
You never know. We are a fuck around find out kind of people. So it
Hmm.
was like, let's see.
Yeah. And if you want to set like up an altar space, I would keep fresh water for sure. I feel like water you just can't go wrong.
Yes.
It's a conductor, everybody needs it. And it's like a symbol of life, honestly, on their altar, like a I don't know, something that is tangible that they can have in this realm, that they can't, I
Yeah.
guess, in the next. But I mean, some like liquor and tobacco. I would just do divination on it to ask. And I feel like liquor is always good to have because it's like a vice, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if I was an ancestor, I would want that. I don't know. I would.
Like if
Um,
the ancestors are dealing with my bullshit, they need
what the fuck?
something.
Did you see my camera?
I did see that.
Why is it doing this? Whatever. What
It
the
went
fuck?
full whoop.
Somebody up
It
there
was like
too?
yeah, somebody's like, hey,
The
I want
fuck?
that liquor, please.
You saw it? It went back.
Yeah. It was like, yep,
Anyway,
I want. But can I get
yeah,
some rum?
for real. Oh yeah, rum's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also obviously white candles to connect and
Yeah.
flowers. I would give them flowers and going to the grave too is I feel like important. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you don't know where they're buried or if they don't have a burial site. But I feel like
Yeah.
if they do have a grave site that you can go to, it shows like you're putting forth effort in their relationship. Like, and it shows initiative. Like, if you go to the gravesite, it looks like you're trying to like work for the relationship because it's not like transactional. Like every time it just zoomed in. Like every time you ask them, you shouldn't be just asking for something and like
Yeah.
giving offerings. Like it should be like a constant relationship. Like not like you would a deity. I'm not saying your ancestors are gods, but they can do a lot of stuff. Like they can help
Yeah.
you in protection magic, abundance magic. They can like help your spiritual strength. They can help with like spiritual warfare and like warfare. That sounds like so dramatic, but
But
spiritual
they
and
can.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like clairvoyance wise and stuff like that. And it helps you connect to your roots. And I feel like there's just something to be said about working with like deities of your ancestors. I think that's
Yeah.
cool, especially if it's in your blood. And also, what a thing that we do like on Samhain, but I feel like you could do it all the time, is like somebody wants a dumb supper, but you could host a dumb supper. And what you do is just like make them a place at your table and make their plate like you would theirs. And I would just talk to them out loud. I mean, you don't have to talk out loud, but personally, I don't talk out loud. And now I'm like, I have this feeling that I should.
I love
So,
talking out loud. I love it. I be
yeah,
looking like a crazy person. I don't give a fuck. I talk out loud all the time. Like I
yeah,
talk about my day. I talk about what I'm doing that
imagine.
day. It's one of the best things.
So it can
Do
get
you
across clear.
exactly. I also really, really love that we're talking about this today because I feel like we're both going through our own process of ancestral veneration
Hmm.
and connecting with our ancestry and our lineage. And I know for you specifically, like this has been a very intense and eye-opening journey. And so Abby, for you, like how are you engaging with your ancestors now that oh my god
No, it
was like,
went out and
she's
in at the
engaging.
same time.
Yeah. How are you engaging with your ancestors, especially in the space where like you're actually finding out who your ancestors are compared to in previous like spaces and months ago and years ago, you were still in this very kind of limbo.
Hmm. Thankfully, my grandma really likes like stuff about our family tree and everything. And I feel like a lot's like been hidden because they're like quote bad people. But I feel like everybody can relate to that. But in a sense, oh fuck. But he basically like had a ton of wives and like
Yeah.
did not divorce but he's like the only I don't have like a strong hmm like everybody I don't know how I want to word this. Like either we're from Alabama or from Louisiana, like South Louisiana, not like another country for real. So this guy is like the one that's closest to me in my lineage, the one that's closest
Yeah.
to me in my lineage that is like from somewhere else. So like I just kind of like dove into it. I was like, what the fuck? So my grandma, she was like, yeah, your great granddad was Cuban, and I was like, okay. So I was digging into it, and I was looking up his stuff on Find a Grave or whatever. I just use that because it's free and it's like ancestry.com, but you just keep going back and back. If they have a grave, sometimes, or honestly, even if they didn't, sometimes you can just find if they have like a memorial service on
Yeah.
there or an obituary. But yeah, like on his, he wasn't Cuban, he's Puerto Rican, but like I found out, and I told her that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it might have been that." She don't fucking know. It's not, but like he didn't raise my granddad. Someone else did because he had like for real like dead ass 20 something wives,
Yeah.
but he just never I mean divorced them. I don't know, but his one of his wives, the one that had my papa, that's my engagement ring. That's her. She was a baddie for real.
Which I
But I
also feel
mean,
like is ancestral veneration. Like
yeah,
wearing her ring as your
yeah.
engagement ring, that is so beautiful. I love
Almost
that.
all of my jewelry is like for real. From her or my grandma or my other great grandma. Like it's crazy how much I got. I've gotten rid of a lot of it and people are like, why don't you get rid of something? That's your family. I have so much shit. If it's
Yeah.
not silver or gold, I'm not keeping it. I don't really care. Unless it's like something, I don't know. It just
Like
depends.
very antique and very eclectic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you started doing like specific veneration for your great grandfather?
that's what I was gonna say. So, no, I haven't honestly. But like just being around his energy, I just feel like he was just, I mean, yeah, it was bad. Like that's not good. Like he was a fucking like he just like it's fine if you're into polygamy, whatever. But the ladies didn't know, okay? Like he was full on like cheating. Like it wasn't like he just had a bunch of wives. Like he just would like
Mm, mm,
the
mm,
other
mm.
one wouldn't know about the other one in a different state. Like he would just go from state to state, just moving around. But like I
That
don't
that man
know.
was living a double, triple, quadruple life.
Yeah. I think he's just very much a player. All I get in my head is just like he would be at a casino and shit. That's
That's
somebody
really
who I would give
amazing.
rum to. I would not be against hey, let me tell y'all something. Some ancestors may not be morally aligned with your highest good, what the fuck ever. But maybe some of us don't give a fuck about our highest good sometimes when we gotta get back at a bitch. So you should venerate your ancestors in your baneful wars, or if you just wanna hex somebody, period.
I mean, let's be honest, like traditionally speaking, in ancient religion and in ancient Greece, like you invoked like the restless dead. You
Well,
invoked
yeah,
like individuals or spirits that weren't for in your like moral kind of grounding or more moral kind of code in order to haunt people or I mean, so like
yeah.
choose your character kind of
I've done
situation.
that. I've done that, but I haven't
Yeah.
asked for like I haven't done any like abundance, but I have for protection actually,
Yeah.
not baneful, but just protection in general. But I don't really call anybody by name. I just call them by group. But us humans, we love names. We gotta have a name. But I feel like
Yeah.
I left that a long time ago. I don't know. It really
I
doesn't
kind
matter
of
as much now. You can feel them
for me it's
individually.
both.
Well, if you
Yeah,
do
for
it
me
for long enough, you can feel them. You know who's
yeah.
who.
I understand that. For me it's both. For me like I use names, but also I don't because it really depends on the relationship I have with my ancestors. So like, one ancestor I always venerate and I always connect with and I always leave offerings for is my grandmother of my dad from my dad's side. She is someone that I always connect with, and I always like say give thanks and give connection to, and also like I also connect with my dog. I consider her like when I venerate my ancestors and my family line, she's my family line. Like baby girl, I always leave offerings for her during Samhain, during el like the Day of the Dead, things like that. Like I have her picture, I have like her urn. I give her offerings because like she's my protector as well, and she is a spirit that I connected. So it's like I think it's very interesting how we even describe what like ancestor or familial veneration is, because sometimes it's not just your bloodline. Like it is who
Hmm.
you consider your ancestor, your family, that's also why I love that you said like those who were adopted and those of like different spaces, it doesn't matter. Like you can still connect.
I'll literally be like on like auctions or whatever, and they'll be like, because there's some women, or there is one lady that I for real trust, and she sells like haunted stuff because like people will give her haunted stuff that she doesn't want. But my thing is like ephemera, like I think it for real is one of them that's messing
Yeah.
with shit in here. But I feel
Hmm.
like the most that I do is like, yeah, ancestor veneration, but like the stuff that I have, the pictures that I have of people, the hair, the mourning jewelry, that has their energy so wrapped up in it, and I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to working with the stranger.
I
If
don't
I
think I'm opposed to it either.
Because I feel their vibe, and they literally are in my house technically.
Yeah.
Should I show some
I
pictures? I have them right here.
That's what I was gonna ask you too. Oh my god, girl, we are literally in the same brain.
But
I know you collect them, you also sell them. So can you talk a little bit more about it?
well, I guess I was thinking about it today, that I was thinking about selling like some of my photos and stuff, but and my morning stuff. But honestly, like I love it so much. It's really, I have a like big connection with it. I just don't know. Like if there's some, I would sell some like tintypes like this. It's like a tintype is it's a photo that's made out of tin, and yeah, that's literally it. And then I have, well, I really want a cased image. So that's like, it's like a book, and then the inside is usually almost always red velvet. Sometimes you can see a purple one. Like
Yeah.
on, and it's like a cushion. And then on the other side, it's usually like it's encased in like gold or silver. Most time it's gold. And it will be like a tin type or an ambrotype, which is like glass. It's a glass picture, which is crazy. Like it's
I
literally a picture
freaking
print
love
on
that.
glass. And then
And so Abby's gonna describe the pictures, but she's also gonna send it to me and I'm gonna put it on the video. So for those of
yeah.
you that are on YouTube and Patreon, you'll be able to see it on the video. But she'll describe a little bit of what she's seeing.
Okay. And okay, so this one is a tin type, and she is in full like Victorian mourning
I
um
love that.
like dress. I
Oh,
hate the
she's
glare.
beautiful. Oh no,
Yeah,
she's
it's pretty.
literally beautiful.
And then this is another tin type, and it's like four sisters, and the backdrop is a lighthouse in the ocean. It's pretty.
Oh, they're just so beautiful and you can feel like
Yeah.
the energy and the
Mhm.
the how do you say like the time, how it's just so much older.
Yeah, yeah. And then these are cased images, but they're like not a fancy case, obviously. It's like paper casing. I don't know. But that's her. Wish it would focus, but I
Oh,
shake so much.
that's sick.
Come on,
Oh,
focus.
have you ever researched the pictures themselves to see if you can find like the people?
No, I've never reverse image searched, but sometimes they have their names on them. Sometimes.
That's
And then
cool.
this girl is the same. She has blush on her cheeks if it would fucking focus. But I'm gonna send you them. For
Yeah,
real.
send them to me so I can show them too. Those are so cool.
Weird. Whatever. And then this one.
And when you
Whoa!
talk, oh,
What? Yeah, I know, bro. This one, I swear, she be giving me some. feeling some type of way. She looked
That's
like she been
beautiful.
through it. Yeah, she had
Yeah.
her mad face on. She
She's me mugging.
yeah.
And so when you
And
talk about
then
morning jewelry,
one more.
is
This
it
is my
like
last one. Sorry.
okay, no no my gosh, you're fine. Don't apologize. Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, she has
See, I
the.
love those. I love those.
And then sometimes they have like gold, little like jewelry, and it'll be like hand painted on there.
That's so sick. And then used to also say that there was like you can also get morning jewelry with like hair and other articles and stuff like that
Yeah,
too.
hair and you can get tintypes in those. I have brooches that have like cut out tintypes in them, or opal opal. It's like I don't even know how to say some of the stuff, but there's an that's like ambrotype is my favorite because it's glass, but because most
Yeah,
of the time that's what's in the jewelry is glass,
that's so
and
beautiful. Yeah,
that's like a late 1800s thing. All of it really is,
that's so
or
freaking
mid
cool.
1800s.
Ugh, I think that's so, and that's such a dope ass way to do ancestor veneration because it's literally like I'm wearing you, I'm mourning you through like my lamentation and my grief is through like holding you.
Yeah, I have some pictures of my ancestors. I have two case ones, and then I have a picture of one that had the red velvet, the classic like cased image in like a, because it literally looks like an album, but it's like small. They're usually like leather too, fake leather. But I have a picture of the picture. I don't have the real one, but it was my one of my, not the great granddad, the Puerto Rican one, but I have another great granddad that his mom like wouldn't let, just a bunch of stories about my fucking ancestors, whatever. But anyway, his mom couldn't feed him, like breastfeed him. This was like back in the old days. Hang on, I'm gonna take a hang on.
Yeah,
This is long winded. So they couldn't afford, they couldn't afford like to get formula like that. Just what in milk, just
yeah,
they couldn't afford it. Like it was either he eats her milk or he starves, because there was a lot of kids. There was a lot, and they just they had like a farm, like, but it was like not for a farm. It was like small. Like they lived on like not barely any land, so they just
yeah,
didn't have a lot of room to work with. But anyway, and then there was a lot of kids. So the mom, I don't know who those people are. I don't know his like real parents, but the mom gave him to this lady, and she was a Native American lady, and she was like kind of known for taking kids in, but she had like a husband, and her husband was white, and they were like more like set up and stuff. And she was like, "Yes, I'll take him." So she raised him until he was like old enough to work, and then after that, he met my great grandma, and my great grandma already had kids,
wow.
some, and then they had more kids. There's like five or six of them, and then they did okay. But he was a blacksmith. Like he built guns, but not for like money. He just did it as a hobby. But
That's
they
really and
fucking they
your family still have some, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, so
Ugh,
I grew up like knowing how, like, I feel like, well, not I feel like, but my mom was always like, if there's gonna be guns in the house, then you need to know how to use them. Like by the
yeah,
time we were teenagers and
I'm
stuff, because
scared.
it's just kind of dangerous. Like, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't know. But especially just with old guns and stuff. But
yeah.
yeah,
That's so
and that's just one
fire.
side of my family. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
my dad's side of
the
the
other
family.
side. It's like, and now we're gonna
Yeah,
figure it out. Yeah, once you do your ancestry, but I don't know if we can do ancestry anymore because all of it is fucking weird. Um,
yeah,
I only like for me a lot of my history is like from the island, like from Puerto Rico. Both of my parents were born there. Their parents were born there. So
yeah. I love. I feel like I have connected with that a lot more,
yeah,
but not. Yeah, I'm still working on it. But I definitely
yeah,
call them my ancestors from there. I love it. It's
I
so
do too.
interesting.
Yeah, I do too. It's very cool. So, it's really, really interesting as I'm building more connection to my ancestors, but also simultaneously like engaging with Hellenistic like polytheism
Yeah,
and it's very interesting to create that those boundaries in between of like living two worlds but coexisting within the two. I think it's really, really interesting for me. And that's for like a lot of people, which has, as I was doing my research, that's what I found that was so, so cool was just how we continuously integrate different, sometimes it was cool, sometimes it wasn't because fuck colonization, but how we integrate different kind of identities into our ancestor veneration.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to kind of delve deep into specific research based on different locations and different cultures. I try to like kind of get a whole bunch of, there are so many other types of cultures, spaces, countries, continents, all these beautiful things. I tried to kind of just get a few of them, but also what's amazing is this is our community. So if there's more that you want to talk about, any questions, you want to add more, talk to us, email us, send us a message, comment on our stuff, and integrate yourselves in this community. That's what it's there for. So we already talked about what ancestor veneration is, and it's really just the practice of honoring your ancestors, honoring your deceased relatives, your family, whatever that's considered. Because for me personally, I like to think of ancestral veneration not just within the blood, it's within what you consider family. And so the first space that we're going to kind of focus on is the Caribbean, and most specifically Haiti. I'm going to preface this with, as we're going to be talking about Haiti as well as parts of Africa and the Caribbean, some of the things are closed practices. If you are not initiated, if you are not a priestess or priest, if you are not a child of the Yoruba culture, we're just listening and enjoying the ride. We are not participating or engaging because that is cultural appropriation and it is not your culture, your space, your religion, your belief system. It is a closed practice. Okay.
And if you think about it, all of our like backgrounds are equally interesting.
It's so beautiful. And I think we are so blessed. Like, side note, hot take. We are so freaking blessed to be in a day and age where these close practices and cultures are allowing us the opportunity to
Yeah.
learn more. And so it is our job and our responsibility to just learn and not to take. There's been enough colonization. Our job is not to do that. Our job is to learn and grow and develop and create more spaces. And like I it's so interesting, like as someone who is Latin, and that like as someone who has like spaces to be able to begin initiation, all these different things, like it's so interesting to see these spaces, um both objectively, but also as someone who has the spaces to do it. But that's just not where I am in my journey right now. So even in my space, I understand my role and my responsibility in that role. So if you're not in it, stop fucking trying, bitch. Oh, okay. Now let's get into the good shit. So Haiti. Haiti is part of the Caribbean. It is such a beautiful space. It's such a beautiful place. And it's really like very much because of colonization, there's a huge fusion of African, European, indigenous, and spaces of Latin America because it is in the Caribbean. And so a big kind of religious space or cultural background is Vodou or Voodoo. And that's very much in the basis of ancestral veneration because most ancestors that were deceased, they live on as protectors and guides, which I thought as I was doing the research is so beautiful. Like as you are engaging in Vodou or Voodoo, um, it's so cool to see that like each space there's an implementation of your ancestors. There's so much ancestral work in there. And so there's this word, and to correct me if I pronounce it wrong. It's peristyles, I believe, and this is sacred sites where the practitioners would gather for those like specific communal ceremonies in like connection to ancestral veneration. And there's spirits. It's called Iwa, I believe, and Iwa, I believe, are supposed to be like the spirits of your deceased ancestors. Please correct me if I'm wrong. That's when I was doing my research. That's kind of what it like distinguished themselves as. Give me 1 second because I would just want to make sure. Iwa, I want to make sure it was ancestry. Hold on. Okay. So with Iwa, I thought it was that they're ancestors, but they're actually spirits And they are like the intermediaries, like so in between like the deities and humans, and they are like spirits that connect and communicate and support.
Oh, they're
And
like
usually
messengers.
they're like messengers, and it's really really cool. And so in
I
order
feel
to
like
commute.
every sorry, I feel like every
No,
like
please don't.
spirituality has that too. Like we're gonna bring
Mm-hmm.
back Greek again, because
Yes, we are.
unfortunate and honestly, Kimmy, we can keep this in or take it out. But I saw something on TikTok.
Yeah, girl, TikTok is
First
a
of all, that's a
resource.
joke. But no, so I saw something that was like working with Greek gods is rooted in um white supremacy. And it was because the girl was like, everybody thinks that Greece was like basically the start of civilization in like the West. And I was like,
Inanna, Ishtar.
facts.
Inanna, Ishtar.
And I'm like, see, I'm confident, like I'm, what's the words I'm looking for? I 100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
And
there's so
I'm
much
confident in my
validity.
work enough to know that I do it because I just truly love the gods. That's really why.
Yeah. But also like if we want to look into
But
like the
it makes
history, like
sense.
not only just like the religious but the historical contexts of it all, like there's a reason why all of these practices are so similar. Like if we think about trade, if we think about like there's a reason why, because we kind of they all integrate themselves in some way. And if we look into like the book of Gilgamesh, if we look into all of these different like very very ancient ideologies, very very ancient religions, it's still very very similar. And so like
Like
I
Hermes is a
connect.
messenger god, like you were talking about.
Hermes is, and he's a
That's where I was going with
psychopomp.
that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're good. Hermes is a messenger god. We have so many different types. So like within specifically like within Haiti, the Iwa, and this is also very interesting and so 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 beautiful. What?
Would it be like okay to work with like Hermes as a psychopomp, as like to connect, do necromancy?
Yeah, because he's a psychopomp.
I feel
He
like,
works
is that
specifically
like,
with the dead.
do a lot of people do that?
Yeah, because he's a messenger, but he also
I'm
helps.
late.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah, you're late, girl. Because he also helps bring
Is there cults for
like
that?
similar to there's an epithet and everything similar to Hakate. Like, he helps lead them to Chiron.
I wonder if there's a cult for
Hmm.
that though.
There has to be. There's a cult for everything. Let's be honest here. But we're going back to Haiti because we're gonna talk about Greece last. Haiti, the Iwa were usually called upon or evoked in spaces of music and ceremony. And so there'll be drums, there'll be dancing, there'll be songs, there'll be different hymns and prayers. There's also offerings like what we were talking about, how we do ancestral veneration, which is food, symbolic items, rum, and all these different things. And so this was a culmination of different pieces of life in order to intertwine themselves with death, which I thought was just so beautiful. And it's something that I know I do. Like I dance with my ancestors, I dance with my deities, I dance with like those that have crossed over. I provide music. I listen to Spanish music. I listen to really really old salsa and bachata and like bomba and things like that. Like there's so many different things that we can do to connect. And so I thought that that was so beautiful. And so within the daily life, for those in Haiti who practice this specific religion, they would have home altars, and they will be very intricate altars that are decorated with photos, offerings, and all of these very beautiful things. And then there's also the importance of oral history and oral tradition. A lot of the times for voodoo, for more like religions and cultures within the African diaspora, it could not be written because of fear, because of slave trade, colonialism, colonizing, all of these different things. It was very important to still provide this history, but it was they were most definitely unable to share it. So oral tradition was so so important to keep this alive. And so as we go from Haiti, we're going to talk a little bit more about Africa. And similar, they had intermediaries. The role of ancestors were to be the intermediaries from the human realm to the divine. So they were seen very much as divine. And a lot of the practices within the African diaspora or within like the ancestral veneration in Africa was on the basis of tribe and community. It was very, very community based. You wouldn't just make like one ancestor altar just yourself. Usually they were grouped or they were in a focus of community. And I love that you were talking about water because offerings of water was very, very important, and they were usually used in shrines or burial sites. And what I found that was really, really beautiful, and I don't really do it often, but as I was reading more about it, it was like, oh, that's actually really fucking cool. Asking your ancestors for blessings, and not blessings as in like, give me this, give me that. It's more, bless my path. It's more getting advice of like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Please, like, talk to me in a dream, communicate to me with me in whatever way that looks like, and tell me if I'm doing the right thing. And like, yeah, we do that when we like do channeled readings and stuff like that, but this was more of like an, not an everyday but a very daily kind of practice of like, I'm gonna talk to my great 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 grandparent first or my great 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 aunt before I decide to do these steps. And that was really cool. um and again, that similar power of rhythm, of moving your body, of drumming, of song, of psalms, of hymns, of all of these different things in order to connect. And it was to create energy. And I know when we spoke to Thorn specifically, when they were discussing the restless dead, like using noise and lamentation and sound in prayer in order to evoke, which I thought was very cool, and we still do it. Um, okay, this one I went really really deep into, but it was for a reason, because as you guys know, I am a Santa Muerte devotee, and so we're going to talk a lot about Latin America as well as ancestor veneration of El Dia de Muertos, and I'm doing it specifically as a way of devotion to Santísima Muerte. And so I have a lot of information. I'm about to just spew it, so prepare yourself. Latin America, fucking melting pot, so many different things, all very similar, but it's very much, there's a, it's so interesting because there's the pre-Columbian, pre-colonization, post-colonization. So Aztecs, Mayans, Incas, indigenous peoples of the specific islands, of the specific locations of Latin America, and then it was a very very elaborate, very very specific way of ancestral veneration. And unfortunately we don't have a lot of the information and details because of colonization. And so this began to merge into more Christian ideology and Christian beliefs. And so now we're in this current space of kind of emerging and a rebirth of something new because of like these two different things that ultimately had to coexist, unfortunately. And so with specific indigenous practices, specific rituals, specific dances, ceremonies, and these are still alive because of oral tradition. And luckily, there were individuals that were still able to provide some of this information, and a lot of it is private because I mean, look at what happened when they shared. They come on now. So a lot of it is private, but it's very, very beautiful. Again, this connection with music. And so I'm going to talk about Day of the Dead specifically. This is kind of where I spiraled a bit in honor of Santissima. Day of the Dead, which I kind of knew, but I thought it was more like celebration. But as I was doing research, it's also very much focused on ancestral grief, which I thought was really, really fucking cool. So El Dia del Muerto, or the 2 days, because it's actually two. It's supposed to be a space to heal the collective of ancestral grief. It is supposed to help. heal ancestral trauma, and it is supposed to also honor the dead, honor their ancestors. And so it's very interesting. So when I was like researching, I was like, okay, but what does this mean, like healing grief and healing ancestral grief? Because the way that I think about it is like ancestral trauma. And so they called it as ghosts or physical disease, and specific to Mayans during that time period, they saw it as tumors or solidified tears. And I thought that was fucking cool. And so during like the Mayan time period, the ancestral trauma or like the familial trauma was seen as like a physical representation. Like if you had some type of physical illness or something, and this is also in connection to curanderoism as well, of having a physical manifestation of your ancestral trauma, which is really really cool to kind of like how we connect the physical to the spiritual. So we have the healing, and then we have the return, and the return of loved ones to kind of engage in this holiday, to visit, to engage in like offerings and all of these different things. And so when we look at post colonization, it became a mixture of this ancestral work as well as the forced Christian conversion, and so it started to change a little bit. Specifically, it became 2 days, so November 1st and November 2nd. I am going to kind of talk a little bit about it. Some of the words I can't pronounce, because I believe it's how I don't know. There it's from Azteca, and it's from Mexico, and so some of it I can't pronounce. So if I say it wrong, correct me. Um, so the first one is Dia de los Angelitos, and that's the day of the little angels, and that's specific for children and infants that are deceased, and that's to honor the babes. And then the second is Dia de Muertos, which is just like to dedicate it to honoring the entirety of the deceased adults. Um, and 3,000 years ago, it was celebrated for an entire month, which I thought was really cool. So instead of the 2 days, it's the entire month, and it was two halves. So like a week and a half of it would be Mika. I don't know how to say it, so please judge me and tell me if I'm wrong. It's Mika Ilwantito or Titli, and that's the feast
Wrong.
for the children.
Just kidding.
Right, I think it is. So please correct me. Judge me
Just
all the
kidding, girl.
way.
You act like I know. I speak fluent cornbread. I don't
Yeah, we
know.
tried. We tried. And then the second one is Hue Mikla Mikail Hiltontli, which is the revered adult deceased. Um, and then this is where I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is so cool. And also notes, because some people confuse the two, and no. La Catrina. So you know how you see all of this artistry and all of these really, really, really beautiful things all focused on the Day of the Dead. And it's this woman with a hat, and she's a scold woman, and she's beautiful with all these vibrant colors. She is the Lady of the Dead. And she was created by Jose Guadalupe Posada. And she was created, and this is where the lore is a little like confusing. Some people don't agree, some people agree. She was created specifically as not a joke, but as a jest towards individuals of Mexico who were ignoring their beliefs and ignoring their history and their ancestry. So it was supposed to be like, oh, yeah, you want to fucking ignore us? Here we are. And we're loud and we're vibrant and all of these different things. And so it was really to make fun of those that are not connected. And so what a lot of people get confused with, La Catrina is not Santissima. They're two different beings. They're two different archetypes. They're two different spaces. Santissima is a folk saint. La Catrina, she is the icon. She is kind of the she is a representation of a specific kind of story and history. Um, And then I'm going to quickly go through, I'm missing a lot of stuff, but I want to kind of go through some of the stuff that you would put on the altar. Because again, there's an altar just like every other one, which is really fucking cool. But it's called an ofrenda. and you would get marigolds, you would get copal, which I love copal. It's so fucking good, and it's a type of incense. And it's supposed to clear, purify, cleanse. And then you would have like pan de muerto, which is bread of the dead, tamales, drinks, photos, toys, all of these different things. For me specifically, I usually have it close or within Santisima's altar, and I would put Santissima taller, and then have other like my ancestors surrounding. But you can have your own separate, however you want to do it. You can also go to the cemetery and have a vigil there, and you can like clean, which usually that's what a lot of families do. They clean the preparing it, they clean the vigil, they clean all of the headstones, add like all of the different colors, candles, and all of these different things. And then again, rhythm, music, dancing, all these beautiful stuff. So I wanted to, similar to when I kind of researched Haiti, I wanted to also research ways in which we can connect to these beautiful spaces of history while simultaneously understanding cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. And so, if you want to engage in these practices, from what I have researched, again, I could be wrong. I am Latina, but I am not Mexican. So please correct me. From what I researched, it seems like a lot of different creators have discussed like who truly sincerely practice. I practice specifically in devotion and worship to Santissima Muerte, but it's also so beautiful to just connect. Don't go to the fucking dollar store. I mean, unless like you really, really can't afford it. Like if you are actively, if you have the means, support native creators, purchase bread, crafts, art directly from Mexican and indigenous artists and bakers. If you have the means, I'm emphasizing. Consult, talk to creators, talk to indigenous peoples, talk to individuals who want to share their work, share their information, share all of this amazing knowledge. And I can also put a list on our description of different creators that I found have just incredible abundance of knowledge. And
Ellen
also like,
Pompeo.
oh my gosh, Ellen is
Mm.
fucking phenomenal.
Her
Oh,
shop is nuts. Like, I want
her,
them so much. I want the St. Michael perfume
yes.
so
Oh my
bad.
gosh. She practices curanderismo, and she is just
And she has Olympia
incredible.
spray. She has
Yep.
literally everything you could think of.
Yeah. And she is
She's a good
such an,
teacher.
yes, and she has so much information. It's so cool. Thank you so much. She was one of the individuals I wanted to add. So thank you for, girl, you on it. Advocacy. The world that we're living right now, we cannot simultaneously honor these spaces while ignoring and being the silent bystanders to what is going on in our world and in our country today. We have resources posted on our Instagram and our TikTok. Communicate to people, advocate, research, share, donate, talk to individuals, protect your community. Because again, if we are in these practices, we are in these practices to help the voiceless. And so if you are engaging and learning and you want to honor in these spaces, do the fucking work too. And that can look totally different for those of us with our physical abilities, with our financial abilities. Whatever you can do in your space, you fucking do it. So we just noticed that we are already an hour in. So we would not be able to go through everything else. So we're going to do a part two where we'll talk about Greece, we'll talk about Asia, we'll talk about Japan, we'll talk about Korea, we'll talk about all of these other spaces. There honestly might be a part three too. Who the fuck knows? We want
It
it to
could
be,
be.
yeah, we
You
want it.
can do more on the magic too, honestly. Ooh, you know what we should do? We should do a
What?
test. From now until we do the other one, we should say like a prayer to our ancestors every day and see what changes.
Okay, yes, we're doing that. Okay, and I'm also keeping this because that's,
And not
you
ask
guys are gonna,
anything of them. Just ask them to bless
yes.
your path.
Yes, you're going to hold us accountable. We're going to hold you guys accountable. Please
Hmm.
share and comment how it goes because we're going to do it too. And so we'll have updates. Fuck yeah. So we'll have another
I could
part.
make
Like,
us a
we're
prayer
waiting.
card. I could make us all a prayer card.
Oh my gosh. And then can you put it on our Patreon?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yay. Okay, we'll have it on our Patreon and on our Instagram. Per.
I'll put it out
So,
tomorrow.
All right, guys, it is the end where we talk about siren song. What is your siren song, Abby?
What was mine gonna be? Bruh, I'm fucking. Oh my god, hang on. Wait. Am I froze? What was it, dude? Hang on, no. It's on the tip of my tongue. Dog.
Is it Ethel? Is it Lana?
You know what? We're just gonna. Don't know. Anyway, I have a lot of songs in my head right now, but the only song that's in my head that wants to come through is just Ride by Lana Del Rey. Like, I always have that song in my head, period. But there was another song I wanted to say, but it did not want to be said.
Yep, that means it's safe for you.
Like,
It's
what the
safe for you.
fuck? It was
Because you
I don't even
literally
know.
went off to find it and come back and you forgot.
Yeah,
Nope.
it was a man who sings it. Why would a man be here? It was a man who sings it. Why did I
It
say
was a
sing like that?
goddamn man.
Sang. Damn. Anyway, yeah, it's fucking time to go.
All right, so my siren song is Brooklyn Baby by Lana Del Rey. I just listened to it on my drive and I was like, damn, that's good as fuck.
You
And so
wrote
I've been
one.
listening to so fucking good. And so I've been listening to it on repeat lately. Hell yeah. So again, share your songs, guys. I kind of want to make a Spotify playlist for us and have it on our
That'd be
Linktree.
fun. That'd be
I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm also gonna do that. So we'll see that
fun.
later this week as well. Because why not? All right, so now it's time for our reading. Abby, you doing a reading for us?
I'm gonna use this Hecate deck I got.
Ah, I love it. Okay. Oh, her
I like to look
ancestral
at it.
veneration, the Chthonic. You
Mm-hmm.
know she be chilling with us. All right, mother, you ready? Good one.
Ooh.
Which one is it?
Lover of Solitude, and it says at the bottom, retreat. Hermit
Oh, we
mode.
love that.
So let's read what it says on in the book. Hang on. Now is the time to focus inwardly on self-care and reconnect into your own practice. The magical maxim, what's a maxim? Don't know. To keep silent, and that's in quotes, also comes to mind. Now is not the time to talk about your devotions or even our love of the goddess. Oh, period. Focus on finding your own way to her rather than helping or relying on others. Withdraw, reflect, process. Silence is golden. When we are still and truly listen, only then do we hear our truth.
I love that. That connects with what you were saying that now our homework is just to connect. That's so
Yeah,
sick. I
love
love that. So
that.
yeah, so that is confirmation that that's our fucking homework. We need to connect.
Hmm.
Ugh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you, Abby. That was beautiful. I love that deck. Ugh.
Oh yeah, and look, and all you
Hell yeah.
emotions. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
don't love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
All
kidding.
right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. You know who we are, but just in case for those of us who don't know, please join us every single week on Mondays. You can also find us on TikTok, on Instagram, on Patreon, on YouTube. And it's at Catabasis Cultura or Catabasis Cultura 1. You can send us emails. You can send us messages there, but you can also send us emails with any stories, questions, anything like that. If you have more information and resources, please share it with us as well. It's at catabasiscultura at gmail.com. Share with your friends, share with your family, connect to our community. We are hoping to keep growing and keep flourishing in these spaces, and we can only do that with your help. So please share, comment, add it to
I'm
spaces.
sorry. Share with your
What?
family. Share with your Republican family.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Share with your racist family. Yeah, let them hear.
If
Why
you want
not?
to make a
I'm just kidding.
Republican angry, share.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Share with your ancestors, but also share with the family that you have now. But have a great rest of your day. I am Kim,
And I'm Abby.
and this is
Calabasas.
Cultura. Bye, everyone.
Bye.